Northern California looking to add to their lead. Top half of the second inning. Thanks for joining us here on TrembleBallSelect.com. Zach White to lead things off. And he starts behind in the count 0-1. Zach reached twice yesterday in the nightcap. He takes one that sweeps outside and gets ahead in the count 2-1. Torres kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Torres looked good in the first, despite the fact that Paul gave up the run and a walk. He still looked pretty sharp. I'm sure his coach is thinking that he's got a good chance to pitch deep into this ball game. He gets White to offer it a pitch in the dirt. And the second strikeout of the ball game for Paul Torres on the mound. Now Sam Heyman. Sam at third in our first game of the day. I've seen Sam, I think, at 3 different positions so far. Fastball off the outside corner. Torres got some giddy up on his fastball. Paul was born June 17th of 2002. So he just celebrated a birthday not too long ago. And groans went out all across America. 2002. 4'11", 120 is Torres. And the 2-0. Outside and low. Heyman working the count well. Laid off that 1-0 pitch, and that ended up being the key so far in this at-bat. And he's drawn himself a base on balls. So 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and a hit. So far, the particulars on Paul Torres. Southern California's Cory Lidle squad led by coaches Frank Sarver, Jorge Nila, and Brian Beck. Lamorinda squad from Northern California led by Adrian Diaz and Jim Keegren. Cory Lidle in pool play. Lost to Midland 6-5 in their first game of pool play. Torres, a breaking ball across for a strike to Carson Newman. Lidle had a chance to win that ball game. In the 5th, they were threatening with runners on as time expired. Couldn't get in the tying run. Little chopper. Paul got to hurry. Throws quickly and records the out. Boy, oh boy, great job by Torres to pop off the mound. Filled that one no more than really about, I'd say 6 feet in front of the plate. Take charge of the play and gun down a speedy Newman. 2 men out in the order. Last man in the lineup, D. Orta. Lidle ended up 3-1. The Southern California squad ended up 3-1 in pool play, winning their last 3 ball games. Ground ball to third. Fielded. Throwing across the diamond for the out. Good fundamental play by Nate Nankill, staying with it and recording the out. A walk in the inning. They can't do anything with them. 1.5 complete from East Cobb. 1-0, Northern California.
This is Nations Baseball.
Matty Ice to the plate, driven, high, deep, gone.
Gets over the fence by about a foot.
Nations Baseball features the most complete roster and team classification systems in the country, allowing for true class play, matching teams of equal skill levels better than any other organization on the planet. Teams compete in Metro, Select, Elite, and Premier classes in leagues and tournaments around the nation for a chance to attend World Series and National Championship events in the most attractive locations in the country.
That's it. 3 in a row to first base, and that will end it.
Years before he was Sports Illustrated's chosen one, TravelBallSelect.com had already chosen 11-year-old Bryce Harper as an All-American. Go to the source for travel baseball national rankings and All-America teams, TravelBallSelect.com.
How important is confidence to success in travel baseball? 80% is the most common answer I get, and it may be even more. Baseball is hard enough the way it is, but I find that some of the biggest robbers of confidence in young players is their parents and coaches. So go to Play Big Travel Ball right now and get my free report. 3 hidden mistakes even top travel ball coaches make that crush player confidence and turn wins into losses. And I'll give you the fixes for them as well. So go get my free report at playbigtravelball.com.
It's the 2014 Travel Ball National Championship, powered by Nations Baseball and TravelBallSelect.com. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Chris Winningham. At the end of play today, we will crown the 2014 National Champion. National Travel Ball. Without question, we will know who the best team is in the 11U classification for travel baseball. Till now, there was really a bit of debate as to who the real national champion could be from year to year, and travel baseball has become so popular throughout the country over about the last 15 years or so. There have been various tournaments, of course, that have tried to put together a true national championship, but now travel ball has come together with Nations Baseball. Nations Baseball, one of the fastest growing travel ball sanctioning bodies in the United States over the last 6 years, and of course travel ball, of course, the encyclopedia for travel baseball over the last decade or so. These two organizations have come together to make sure that travel ball has a national champion they can truly say is the best. The result of it, of course, you're seeing the 2014 National Championship here at the historic East Cobb Baseball Complex in Metro Atlanta. This is the first of 2 consecutive back-to-back years the national championship will be here in Metro Atlanta. Next year, the 2015 championship will be here. We'll have more information on that, by the way, as we move through the broadcast. You know, I'll probably get into it this inning. It's August 22nd for all of you travel ball fans out there, a very big day for the travel ball community. As Mike DeHaro lead things off here in the bottom half of the second. And he hits a chopper off the plate. Good job popping out from behind the plate and making the play is Pete Halpin. DeHaro got out in front of that one. Caught it off the end of the bat a little bit. Mike going to be thinking about that one till his next at-bat. Andrew Rodriguez now. And he takes strike 1. Andrew listed as a catcher, a pitcher, and a first baseman on the roster. 5'2", 150. Right-hander built like a catcher. Man in pinstripes waits. Ortiz deals a curveball that bounces up there, 1-1. AJ knew as soon as he let that one go that it was going to be short. You could see the grimace on his face. Ground ball down to short. Field throw, and it gets away. Runner reaches for Southern California on the error. And he's 6. Now a courtesy runner coming in for the catcher. This is a common occurrence you see a lot. Get the catchers out of the sun, out of the heat. And Noah Lane coming on to run for him. And immediately he gets tested. The beauty of baseball. Alec Beck at the plate now. Second baseman for Southern California waits and takes one low in the strike zone for strike 1. I think it would be kind to say there was some disagreement about that strike 1 call. Curveball outside corner for a strike. 0-2. Ortiz in control of the at-bat. Boy, every moment's so big. We may see a lot of offense today. It's going to be interesting to see how the storylines unfold for each squad. Only because a lot of innings thrown by a lot of guys. Shot into center field, a base hit. I'm going to tell you something. Ortiz did get a piece of that ball on the mound. Ortiz absolutely got a piece of that ball. You could hear it nick off of his glove. Our broadcast location here at the park, right behind home plate, right behind the screen, the chain link fence here, and you could hear that solid single by Beck nick off the glove of the pitcher. He hit it so hard that I don't even know that Ortiz getting a piece of it slowed down the ball. It shot into center field for the solid single, and now 2 men on with 1 man out in the inning. And here's Torres. Paul, the man on the mound, if you're just tuning in. It's been pretty good here through 2 innings. Does have 2 walks, and it's given up an RBI single. He's got 2 strikeouts as well, and at times he's looked very, very good. Modest lead for both base runners and a strike on the outside corner. Beck not being held at first. About a 3-step lead out at second that is widening for Rodriguez. Or pardon me, for Lane, the pinch hitter, who's going to get a chance to score. He's rounding third and being waved by the third base coach. The throw comes into the cutoff man, and we're tied at 1 in the first of 4 ball games here this afternoon in Metro Atlanta. An RBI single for Paul Torres. Nope, nothing like a starting pitcher helping himself out. And that instantly can change the complexion of the ball game in numerous ways, not just obviously because we're in a tie ball game and not just because Lidle now has pushed across their first run of the ball game, but when you're the starting pitcher or the man on the mound and you do it yourself, driving in that run, that always can be a big pick-me-up. Torres heads off the field back into the dugout to get into the shade and get out of the sun. The courtesy runner, Jake Sarver. And ball 1 to start Andrew Neela. Andrew out and left today for Southern California. Ortiz looks in. Sign that he likes. Comes out of the stretch and pitches. High. 2-0. DeHaro was retired catcher to first on a little nubber out in front of the plate to start the inning. Rodriguez reached on an error. Beck singled him to second. And Torres brought home the first run on an RBI single. So a ground out, an E6, and consecutive singles. Squaring to bunt. And taking a strike on the inside corner and at the knees. Big right-hander kicks and fires. Runners breaking. A strike called on Nila, but the double steal. Well now. Cory Lidle, left fielder now. A base hit away from potentially giving his team a 2-run lead and just a fly ball away from breaking the 1-1 tie. Contact. That's all you want if you're wearing pinstripes today. Ortiz steps off. AJ 5'4", 110, they've got him listed. Boy, he looks bigger than that. Hard throwing right-hander. In the dirt. Count, run, full. A walk, not the worst thing here. Of course, loads up the bases if you know your baseball strategy. Sets up the force at every base and the potential of the double play. Shot foul. Elijah Cepeda on deck. Cory Lidle team batting 10 players in this ball game. We're one man from the bottom man in the order. Ground ball up the middle and a base hit into center field. One run has scored. They will hold the second runner at third. Southern California now with 2 runs in the bottom half of the second inning, and they've claimed the lead on NorCal. They held up Sarber at third. Jake getting the stop sign from his third base coach. Now he stands down there with 1 man out. Has a bit of an insurance run. Andrew Diaz, the head man for Lamorinda, coming out to have a conversation with Ortiz on the mound. And the entire infield comes in, of course. And promptly the Cory Lidle team from Southern California will do the same. Again, want to take this opportunity to remind you folks that someone will be going home at the end of this one in this battle for California bragging rights in the Empire State of the South. The loser's out, which will be a major elimination. Again, this is the number 3 team in the country versus the number 4 team in the country. Somebody will be out, and then somebody will advance in the loser's bracket and take on either Team Texas or the Madison Marlins. Draw one step closer to the national championship game. Diaz, after a discussion with his team, after a discussion with Ortiz, has decided to make the change on the mound. I wondered, didn't appear as though he was going to make the change. And now he has called on Big David Howard to take the hill. Well, the book on Ortiz is obviously not closed with 2 runners on. So far, Ortiz with 1 earned run allowed. The first run that scored reached on an error, so that was unearned. 2 runs allowed, 1 earned. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits in an inning and 2/3. again, Big David Howard going to climb the bump for the Knights of Lamorinda from Northern California. This is his third appearance in the tournament, in the championship. His second in as many days. One man gone, runners at the corners for Elijah Zepeda, the 10th place man. Howard to first, runner back. Zepeda, a little guy, 4'9", 90 pounds. Double play still in order. Good speed down at first. And Neela. Popped up the bunt. And it falls in no man's land in between short and third. They'll have no play. Oh, boy. Sarver comes in to score. He held up for a moment, of course, waiting to see what was going to happen with the bunt. The third baseman, Sam Heyman, really got caught in between. He charged the bunt, thinking it was going to pop up right to him, or at least be on the ground right to him. Obviously, can't read his mind, not sure what he was thinking, but he made the right play in charging the ball immediately when the bat was squared in the box. The only problem, of course, is that the ball carried off through the air to his left, closer to the shortstop. Landed about 5 or 6 feet away from him, and that was absolute disaster for Northern California because it was well beyond his reach. So 3 consecutive RBI singles and 4 singles in a row. Ground ball to short, shovel for 1, turn to first, the double play, and finally Northern California gets the double play that they've been coveting over the last, say, 4 batters or so. But not before Southern California puts 3 runs on the board, and at the end of 3 in East Cobb, the home team 3 and the visiting team 1 on TravelBallSelect.com.
Great hitters aren't born, they're made. Swing Away makes them.
Hi, I'm Bryce Harper. If you want to be a better hitter, all you have to do is swing away.
Now, all baseball players and softball players can train like the pros. Hit anywhere, anytime, inside or out. Players of all ages and skill levels can get serious and immediate results with the Swing Away.
Swing Away will make you a better hitter, period.
You're just a swing away from becoming a great hitter at swingaway.com.
This is Nations Baseball.
Matty Ice to the plate, driven, high, deep, gone. Gets over the fence by about a foot.
Nations Baseball features the most complete roster and team classification systems in the country, allowing for true class play, matching teams of equal skill levels better than any other organization on the planet. Teams compete in Metro, Select, Elite, and Premier classes in leagues and tournaments around the nation for a chance to attend World Series and National Championship events in the most attractive locations in the country.
That's it. 3 in a row to first base, and that will end it.
Southern California now with a 3-1 lead over Northern Cal. This loser's bracket ball game, top half of the third. From Atlanta. More precisely, the Cory Lidle squad from Southern California. leads Lamorinda out of the San Francisco Bay Area in Northern California, 3-1. Pete Halpin to lead things off in this third frame. High drive, left center field, and deep. Back to the track and the wall, and it's gone. Pete Halpin has been some kind of player through the last 2 days. Pete 1 for 2 now in this ball game with the solo home run. He reached twice in the nightcap last night. Single, walk, stolen base. In the early game, when we saw him here on TravelBallSelect.com yesterday, he had a 3 RBI triple, a sacrifice fly, so now 4 RBIs in the last 4 games. For Halpin. Here's Diaz. And he takes a strike. Count even at 1. Oh, that's an all-important run. Northern California adds to their tally, gets back to 3-2. Shot into center field, could fall for a base hit, and does. A single for Diaz, drops one right in front of Emilio Corona in center field. Very important in a championship format when one team scores for you to turn around and answer. Now we've seen a defensive change at first. It's like Ryan Kim out of the DH spot. Now at first defensively, and DeHaro comes off of first base and into the dugout. And that, of course, an indicator for those of you, the uninitiated, an indicator that we'll probably see DeHaro as our next moundsman for Southern California. Diaz, a pretty good lead at first. And a 1-0 count. You know, I've mentioned this a couple of times. I'm telling you, Torres has been pretty good so far, despite the fact that he's been hit around a little bit. Or had base runners, I should say, a good bit. He's only given up the 2 hits, 3 hits now, pardon me. 2 singles and the home run. 2 walks on his ledger as well. He's behind 3-0 to Ortiz. AJ hitting to a fielder's choice back in the first. Torres hasn't been too bad. I think a lot of this production from Lamorinda is really just because they're hitting the ball that well. Torres with good break on his off-speed pitches. Fastball's been sharp. His control's been a little shaky at times, and true to form, he's walked the second batter of the inning. So third batter of the inning, and 3 consecutive men have reached. Solo home run for the leadoff man, Halpin. A walk by Diaz. Single by Diaz. Walk by Ortiz. And now Keegren. We may be about to see a change right now. Frank Sarver, I can guarantee you, was over in the dugout thinking about it. Does he have one more batter in him. Keegren, one of the best hitters in the tournament so far, in the national championship so far. And Coach Sarver has decided to go ahead and make the change. Most likely just waiting and giving an opportunity for his new man to warm up down the left field line. And in fact, they will bring on Mike DeHaro. Well, if your guy's ready, you got to make this move, especially if he's going to face Pat Keegren. Keegren, who's been very good in the championship. So the book not closed on Torres. The 2 runners on base obviously belong to him. I'd love to see this meeting out in the outfield. The entire Southern California team, the entire team from Cory Lidle has, at least for the moment, met out behind the second base bag nearly in the outfield. Now they'll come over by the third base bag and have a conversation with Coach Sarver. We started with 30 teams in the 11U classification. 6 groups, 5 in each group for pool play, which started on Wednesday. We worked our way to the elimination bracket on Friday. And now, as we sit here on Sunday morning, the 29th, 6 teams remaining in the 11U classification. DeHaro fires back to first and the runner back easily. Keegren plated the first run of the ball game in his lone at-bat, an RBI single with 2 men gone in the first. Huge at-bat. Takes a fastball high and tight, and he's ahead in the count. If you're just tuning in, Lamorinda from Northern California, the visitors today. Cory Lidle from Southern California, the home team. In the dirt.
Hey, good eye, Patty.
Ground ball, shortstop, chance at a double play. This would be big. There's one. The turn to first in time for out number 2. .643 DP. I chuckle a little bit because the young men on the field thought that oftentimes you'll have one guy that'll come sprinting off the field thinking that was the final out of the inning. In this case, you had 3 guys who were trying to sprint off the field. That's quite unusual. Now Carl Vesey light. Carl to the plate with a runner still in scoring position, but 2 men out. It's Ortiz at third. Strike. Carl's ground out to the third baseman ended the first inning. Shot down the right field line, and now Light in an 0-2 hole. Mike DeHaro on the mound has come in and induced a double play. 5'2", 135 the young man is, the right-hander. Got a ground ball when his team needed it the most. Boys in pinstripes sitting on a 1-run lead in the top of the third. Shot on the center, coming on and making the catch. The center fielder to retire the side. Corona got caught just a tad bit in between, but stayed with it and made the catch to win the inning. But not before the solo home run by Pete Halpin draws Lamorinda from Northern California back to within a run. It's 3-2 to the bottom half of the third we go on TravelBallSelect.com.
Here's a game I invite you to play during the next half inning. Rate each player from 0 to 10 how confident he looks. How confident you think each guy is. Rate him 0 to 10, and then notice what you're basing your assessment on. If you want extra credit, do the same for yourself. How are you sitting right now? How are you moving? How are you breathing? How confident 0 to 10 are you right now in whatever it is that you might be working on in your life? I'm Dr. Tom Hansen, founder of the Play Big Academy, and for the last 30 years, I've been studying confidence in baseball and business, all aspects of life, and what makes people take action boldly and confidently, and what has people wilt away under the pressure. If you want to take the first step, where I give away my #1 secret, the Hall of Famer's secret, this is what I learned studying Hank Aaron, Rod Cruz, Stan Musial, Carly Trimsky, interviewing them. This is the #1 secret. Go to TravelBallSecrets.com. and do the exercise that's there and feel yourself take that boost to the next level. It's your first step. Go to TravelBallSecrets.com.
Two, 3, and 4 for Southern California. Bottom half of the third. Nate Nankiel to lead things off. Nate a ground out 4-3 his first time up. Big lefty kicks and fires a strike. Breaking ball that falls low. David telegraphed that one a little bit. David 5'5", 140. 5'5", 140. He'll be 12 years old in a week. Fastball in the dirt. Nankiel's worked it from 0-2 to 3-2. Nate 5'4", 110. Slick fielder, good speed. 3-2. Ground ball over the glove of Howard and under the glove of the shortstop, Ortiz, and into center field for a base hit. Well, both of these teams, so very good. The development of these young players, so very impressive. And here's Corona. Howard checks the runner. Watch Emilio when he comes into the box. The center fielder, 1 for 1 in the ball game with an infield single. Watch him hold his hands tight to his body at first. Well, he did on the first at-bat, or the first pitch kind of raised him up. And it's a good thing he stays nimble in the box because he had to duck underneath that one. Power hitter Kim on deck. Howard, the lefty, dishes a curveball that drops in the dirt. And now Corona certainly in control of the at-bat at 2-0. Solid lead at first for Nankill with great speed. Swing and a miss. Howard challenges Corona with a fastball. And Emilio cuts through it. Emilio just had a birthday. And he takes strike two. Howard back to even the at-bat. Emilio listed at 5 feet 115. Looks a little bigger than that. Runner's breaking. This one's skied in the left and pretty deep. Called in left and caught for the first out of the inning. Looks like White out there in left had to battle the sun. For those of you not familiar with the state of Georgia at this time of the year, the high sky, or just after 9 o'clock here, the high, thin cloud cover, and not much of it. And the high blue sky. Tough on fly balls, it really, really is. As a guy who grew up here, trying to battle the elements. Well, woe is me, a lot of people say, oh, well, yeah, Crimea River, you had to battle the clear blue sky for a fly ball. Howard checks the runner, and Nankill back. Nankill led off the inning with a single. Corona just flew out to left fielder. And here's Kim. Ryan, a ground out victim his first time up. Big guy waits. Howard kicks a fastball that's high. Might have been a pitch out. Throw down to second, and Nankill steals it just the same. Kim with a chance at an RBI now. A chance to push their lead to double digits. Southern California leads Northern California 3-2 in this elimination ball game. Bottom half of the third inning. Somebody's going home, and then somebody advances to take on either Texas or Madison. Howard looks in, gets a sign that he likes, and the lefty deals. Curveball that breaks in on the inside corner and at the knees. 1-2. Ground ball to short. And it got underneath the glove of the shortstop, Diaz, and that will cost them a run. Kim headed into second. The relay throw not in time. A stand-up run driving in at bat. Interesting on how you could score that. One way or another, the run comes in to score, and it's 4-2 Southern California. That's a tough one. I'm going to think about that one before I write it down on my score sheet. How about that? DeHaro now. Kim going to head off the field. Courtesy runner coming in, didn't catch his number. I apologize for that, but we'll get it here in a moment. And here's DeHaro. Mike, a ground out victim his first time up. Catcher to first. And the pitch gets away. Got away from Halpin behind the plate. Runner advances down to third. And DeHaro a chance for an RBI. Interesting. Adrian Diaz comes out of the dugout, motions to the home plate umpire, and says we want to give a free pass to DeHaro. So an intentional walk to the fifth place man. And that'll get us to Andrew Rodriguez. And also another courtesy runner. DeHaro will head off, the pitcher. Jake Sarver will come on to courtesy run. It's Noah Lane, by the way, courtesy running down at third. So Lane at third and Sarver at first. One man gone, double play still in order. And of course that, the motivation for Adrian Diaz, the Northern California coach, to come out and issue the free pass to DeHaro. Single by Mankill, fly out by Corona. Kim reached on a score we're still trying to decipher, error or double. And then the intentional walk to DeHaro. Has runners at the corners with one man out. Both men on the base paths, courtesy run 4. So Lane at third and Sarver at first. And Howard to the belt and pitches. Squaring, good bunt. It's going to score a run. Safety squeeze. And a beautiful one at that by Andrew Rodriguez. Great catch in center field for out number 3. What a tremendous catch on the liner by Beck, but not before 2 runs come across in the 4th inning. Southern Cal leads Northern Cal on TravelBallSelect.com. Zach White, Sam Heyman, and Carson Newman. Visitors, half of the fourth. Ground ball down to third and foul. Representing Northern California, it's the Knights of Lamorinda. Little area just in the Bay Area of San Francisco. Down to third, that's a fair ball. Up, over, first man retired. I'll tell you what, Nankill's been good at third today. He looks like a solid defensive third baseman. The most impressive part of him is his arm. There is no question the kid's got a really great arm over at third. But he stayed pretty composed on a couple of balls that were moderately tough, so impressive. And here's Heyman. Speaking of third baseman, who also made a tremendous play yesterday, by the way, in one of the games that we saw the Knights in, and he takes strike one. We've seen a lot of great defensive play. Some plays that probably should have been made as well, but you know what? You're going to have so much contact at this level between the two teams, and you're going to see some misplays. Sam walked in his only plate appearance with one man gone in the second. So I mentioned Lamorinda, the Knights from San Francisco representing the Northern California region. The home team today, Cory Lidle out of Southern California from San Dimas. One of the parents over here told me they were from San Dimas, and instantly I started thinking about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Not Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, because we try to remember that. We try not to remember that one. But I digress. And that's your obscure movie reference of the day, brought to you by Chris Mooneyham. 3-1 count. And another one-out walk. Second time that Heyman has hit second in an inning and drawn a walk. Mike DeHaro on the mound, by the way, for what will be his first full inning of work. Of course, I'm assuming he makes it through the inning, but you know what I mean. DeHaro came on last inning and did his job. Got the Lidle team out of a jam. Delivers a wild pitch here to Carson Newman. And so Heyman advances down to second. Carson was retired in his only at-bat of the ball game so far. Little nubber he hit back to the pitcher. Carson reached twice last night in the nightcap. He's ahead in the count here, 2-0. Carson had 2 walks. Matter of fact, here's an odd stat line for you. Carson had 2 plate appearances, neither official, because he had 2 walks. Now, here's the other interesting part. He only came to the plate in the second inning. Walked twice in the second inning last night. Now, of course, for those of you who know how the game works here, at the travel ball level, you know that you say to yourself, oh, well, they must have won via the run rule. And, in fact, you would be right. Southern Cal knocked out a Georgia team last night 10-0 after 4. The mercy rule. It's 15 after 3, 10 after 4. I believe, was it 8? 7 after 5. Let me take a look. 8 after 5. 15 after 3, 10 after 4, and 8 after 5. Your mercy rules, or run rules if you prefer. So that's an odd stat line for Newman. Batted twice, although not officially. 2 walks, and both came in the second inning of last night's nightcap. 3-0. And he's walked again. Well, 2 runs came across for Southern California in the bottom half of the third to push the lead from 3-2 to 5-2. And what's the number one thing that you want to do if you're Southern California? You want a quick top half of the fourth. And, of course, what's the number one thing you want to do if you're Northern California? You want to try to get back out there and get a run of your own, maybe 2. Cut into the lead that's just been built by Southern California. Well, now, Lamorinda from Northern California has that chance. The tying run comes to the plate. And Diorda is going to be pinch hit for by the man now on the mound, David Howard. Head coach Adrian Diaz, for Northern California, calling on his power hitter when he needs him the most in this season. Remember, we only play 6, so it's getting late. With 1 man gone in this inning, Northern California down to their last 8 outs of their season, trailing by 3 in this elimination ball game. The powerful left-hander with 2 men on is the tying run at the plate. And the first from DeHaro. A fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Howard did not offer. Got to be looking fastball in this spot as well. Swing off the fastball, adjust to the curve. DeHaro checks the runner at second, right-hander deals. Fastball in the dirt, count even at 1. Excellent speed out on the base paths for Northern California. That of the stretch. The SoCal righty kicks and fires. Swing and a miss at a fastball, the same spot as pitch number 1. David, not Ryan Howard, David Howard. David showed a lot of intelligence there in offering at that pitch as though he were waiting on it, knowing that after a fastball in the outside corner that was called for a strike, then a fastball that was in the dirt, most likely he was going to see another straight one, and most likely on the outside corner. Great deductive reasoning by the powerful lefty. Will he see a waste pitch on 1-2? Nope, the fastball right in his wheelhouse, and he was just late on it. Holy smokes. Boy, he was promptly late on that for nothing more than sheer surprise that the fastball was right there. First at bat of the ball game for Howard. Big guy had an RBI triple in the nightcap last night. 1 for 3. Takes a fastball off the outside corner, and he's battled back to an even count. That's right, I said it. An RBI triple for the big man in the nightcap last night. In the early game, he had an RBI double. Two. Fastball off the outside corner, good eye. And the count's now run full. It's Heyman at second. And Newman at first, with one man gone in the top half of the fourth inning. Team trails by 3. Oh, and they may have him in the rundown. He's headed to third. Heyman, safe underneath the tag. Oh, mercy. DeHaro did a great job of chasing Heyman to the bag, although probably should have released it just a tad bit early. And by the time he did release it over to Nankill, Nankill had to go with the swipe tag, and he only had a chance to get Heyman on the upper body because Heyman was already into his slide. The tag was missed, and now Howard simply contact away from drawing his team to within 2 runs. Runner breaking. Foul ball left side. Well, I'll tell you what. Doesn't change the at-bat dramatically, but it does make a pretty sizable impact. Of course, all Southern California's thinking here is that the double play is still in order. DeHaro looks in. Looks for a pitch to be called from his catcher that he can drop low in the zone and get rolled over on. Southern California needs a double play ball in the worst way. And the throw to third, and oh my goodness, DeHaro did not see Newman behind him, was breaking on first movement. Holy smokes. Heyman had a huge lead at third, by the way. Well, a pretty sizable lead, maybe huge, the wrong terminology, but a really good lead. Pretty big lead out at second for Newman. Howard can tie it with a base hit, and instead he's reached via the walk. Well now, DeHaro, who looked so good on the 2 batters that he faced in the visitors' half of the third, he induced the double play, 6-4-3, and then got Light to fly out into center, although it was hit very hard. He got the final 3 outs at the third inning after a run had come across after 3 straight men had reached, as a matter of fact. And now, after getting White to ground out to lead off this inning, he's walked 3 consecutive men. We're back to the top of the order, and with the bases loaded, it's Pete Halpin. And Halpin's been one of the all-stars offensively in this championship. And he takes strike 1 with a fastball in the outside corner. Pete was up in a very similar situation in the early game yesterday. In the second, as a matter of fact. And he lined a ball beyond the fielders to the wall for a bases clearing triple. If he does that here, this place will go bananas. A lot of anticipatory faces over on the visitor side. They've got the guy they want at the plate. You know, I must be honest with you, I don't know if they're going to do an all championship team or not. If they do, Halpin's got to be on that team. 1-1. Ground ball down the right field line, but foul. Line drive down the right field line. Pete 1 for 2. I'm doing all this bragging on the NorCal catcher and haven't even mentioned to you, if you're just tuning in, he hit a solo home run to lead off the third. In the dirt, bounces up there, runners breaking to the plate. Heyman will score without a play. So Heyman with a run score. He comes in on the wild pitch. Both runners advance, by the way. Newman at third. Orta comes in as the courtesy runner for Howard as well. And DeHaro, the 2-2. Skied into right. Pretty well hit coming over the right fielder, and he can't make the play. Halpin's rounding first and headed towards second. One run is scored. Orta's coming to the plate, and he will score. We are tied at 4. Yet again, a triple and multiple RBIs for the Lamorinda catcher. Well, that kid is some kind of player. Pete Halpin. Pete Halpin, the young man that the friends and family over to the right side of our broadcast area call Petey. You hear a lot of Peteys go out after any of his productive at-bats, or while he's in the box even. And here's Diaz. Davis has reached twice, a walk and a single. Walked in the first. Singled in the third after the home run by Halpin. Boy, how about Pete Halpin? 3 RBI in this ball game. Liner up the middle, and a base hit. Halpin comes in to score. It's a 4-run top half of the 4th inning, and the lead for Northern California, pardon me. And that hit will prompt Frank Sarver to come out of the dugout and head to the mound. And it looks like he is, in fact, going to make the change and lift Mike DeHaro. A ground out, 3 consecutive walks. The first run comes across on a wild pitch. And on the very next delivery from DeHaro, Halpin lines it into right for a 2 RBI triple. That ties the ball game. Then Diaz lines one into center field for the RBI single, bringing in Halpin, breaking the 5-5 tie, and putting us at 6-5 in favor of the Knights of Lamorinda, the visitors from Northern California. Now Daniel Rodriguez will climb the hill for the Southern California squad. Rodriguez 5'1", 105, a right-hander who catches, plays third and outfield, and obviously pitches as well. And that young man will also be celebrating a birthday here within the next couple of weeks. Fans, if you're watching out there and you think to yourself, boy, I've got a travel ball team that I'd love to get into this tournament. Well, you can find out how you can qualify, when, and where on August 22nd. All dates will be announced August 22nd for the 2015 Travel Ball National Championship season. Team can qualify by being ranked by TBS and receive one of 12 automatic invitations, or a team can earn a berth by winning one of the 12 Travel Ball qualifying events. These qualifying events coming up next year will return to Miami, return to Louisville, Atlanta, Houston, Charlotte, Detroit, Birmingham, Chicago, Las Vegas, and also 3 new locations, which will also be announced on August 22nd. For more information, you can email info@travelballselect.com to register for an advance notice. Get your team in here and be a part of what is arguably the most talented, the most incredible display of talent in youth sports across America. And I mean that. I'm not just saying that because they're paying me. I really, really mean that. I love this event. A.J. Ortiz now. A.J. hit into a fielder's choice, 6'4" his first time up, and then walked as the third man up in the third. He'll try to continue this lengthy, productive inning. High fly, center field, coming on and making the catch. Runner will retreat back to first, and now 2 men gone. The F8 for Ortiz. Corona had to battle that one for just a moment as it came flying into him in center field. Getting up in the side sun glare. And now Keegren. Now this is where you get selfish if you're Northern California and you say to yourself, let's just get one more run. And the runner is breaking down to second and will reach easily. Diaz into second and into scoring position without a throw. Adrian Diaz. I just read your mind, sir. That's another well-known fact about travel ball and how talented these teams are. You've got to strike while the iron's hot. These teams are so good defensively and on the mound. Well, you don't know when you're going to get another chance to score or if. So you got to take advantage when you got runners on base. And that's why you'll see a lot of aggression out of managers, coaches, when they get guys on the base pads. You'll see more steal opportunities than you would believe. You'll see more coaches and young men playing, trying to take an extra base, really pushing the envelope of base running. 1-1. Caught him. Keegren reaches on the HBP. So Rodriguez, Daniel hits the second batter he faces. Now every man in the lineup will have taken an opportunity at the plate in this top half of the fourth inning. 9 men in the batting order for Northern California today, and 9 men batting in this inning. Carl grounded out to win the first and flew out to win the third. What are the chances he ends 3 innings? Ball 1 sweeps outside. Well, you see it so often in baseball. The best teams get production out of the bottom of the lineup. Now, you see that at all levels. But once you get into youth baseball, if you get production out of the bottom of your lineup, it really takes your performance to an entirely new level. Because, of course, with so many fine athletes on these teams, and of course, as is usually the case, most of the best hitters are near the top of the lineup. At least in the top 4 of your lineup. When you get 3 consecutive walks out of 7, 8, and 9 to start an inning in a championship format, as Northern California did in this inning, 3 consecutive walks, boy, you're really setting yourself up for a big-time inning. Rodriguez to the belt, sets and delivers a breaking ball that sails over the head of Light, and both runners advance. Diaz now at third, Keegren down at first. This is easily the biggest at-bat of the ball game. In the dirt, gets away down the right side, and scoring is Diaz. Oh, now a throw down to second, and a third man's going to come in. How about that? Or a second man comes in, and a third man advances. Holy smokes. Third man scores on a wild pitch, wild throw. Holy smokes. Mercy. A wild pitch that leads to two runners scoring, the man from third and the man from second, and allows the man at the plate to reach all the way down to second. Boy, that is an absolutely disastrous at-bat. And now Zach White. Zach started this very inning with a ground out down to third. Ground ball, deep short, off the glove of the shortstop. They're going to wave Light to the plate, and he will score without a throw. 7 runs in the top half of the 4th inning, and now a 9-5 lead for Northern California. Now Heyman. Sam scored the first run of this inning. He walked and scored on a wild pitch. That seems like it was forever ago now. Pop foul back and into the net. Four walks, an HBP, and 3 hits. What an inning. What an inning, as I tabulate it here in the book. Rodriguez delivery fouled down the right side and again out of play. So Heyman battling at 0-2. Here's the inning. A ground out by White, then a walk to Heyman and Newman and Howard successively. Then a 2 RBI triple by Halpin, an RBI hit by Diaz, a single, a flyout by Ortiz, an HBP of Keegren, a walk to Light, an RBI single by White, and now we're back to Heyman. Now, in that inning, if you're doing your math and you say, hey, wait a minute, now you left out some run-scoring plays. Well, 3 times runs have scored. 3 runs have scored on wild pitches. 4 walks, 1 HBP, 3 hits, and 3 wild pitches that led to runs scoring. Or more precisely to say, 3 runs that scored on wild pitches. Because incredibly, we had 1 wild pitch where 2 runners scored, so to speak. The wild pitch obviously allowed the runner to score. The catcher then fielded, threw down to second to try to get the advancing batter who went to first on the wild pitch. That was ball 4. He threw down to second to get the advancing batter, and this one skied into left and pretty deep. Moving over the left fielder has the call and the catch, and the inning comes to a close. But again, not before 4 walks, an HBP, 3-run score on 2 wild pitches, and 3 hits in the inning. 7 runs in the top half of the 4th, and Northern California has seized a 9-5 lead on travelballselect.com.
Years before he was Sports Illustrated's chosen one, TravelBallSelect.com had already chosen 11-year-old Bryce Harper as an All-American. Go to the source for travel baseball national rankings and All-America teams.
To the bottom half of the fourth we go in this elimination ball game of the 2014 Travel Ball National Championship, and it's powered by Nations Baseball and TravelBallSelect.com. Thanks for joining us again here on TravelBallSelect.com for the first of, well, a multitude of games, but the first of 4 11U games in the championship. By the end of play today, we will crown our national champion. In this ball game, well, this has been a wild one, and the complexion has changed completely in the other direction. We went to the top half of the fourth, and the Cory Lidle squad from Southern California had seized control of the ball game completely. Up 5-2. That's right, up 5-2 going into the top half of the fourth inning. And then the boys from Northern California in the San Francisco Bay Area scored 7 runs in the inning, and a wild inning it was. Ground ball down to second. Light going to fire on to first to retire the first batter of the inning, which is Paul Torres. So 4-3, Torres is retired. Again, thanks for joining us here on TravelBallSelect.com. I'm Chris Mooneyham, alongside now Rob Bruno, who's joined us. Rob, you know a little bit something about, well, probably actually a lot about both of these teams. That's just broadcaster speak. I know you know a lot about both of these teams.
Chris, I do. I've seen both these teams become good friends with the Cory Lidle coach, Coach Sarver, outstanding guy. These are my neighbors over here at Lamorinda. Gosh, they're great guys as well. This is kind of a north-south civil war in California. Right. And 2 outstanding programs, 2 of the top programs in the country. So I'm just glad to be here and watch this.
Number 3 versus 4, according to the rankings coming in, right?
Absolutely.
3 versus 4.
And they play some pretty good baseball, from what I hear, in California.
Not bad, no, not bad, no.
You know, you look at California, you look at Texas and Florida. Georgia is one of the absolute top 5 as well. Arizona, there's some great baseball going out. The Southeast has really come up, I think, and lots of pockets in there. The North Carolinas, the Virginias. It's all over the place. How about Wisconsin from yesterday?
Right.
A new power. That's a big strike.
Daniel Rodriguez.
The big fella Howard.
Had a 1-1 count.
You got to think about one guy when he's on that mound. C.C. Sabathia Jr. Love this kid.
Daniel's first at bat of this ball game, and he's ahead 2-1.
Daniel's had a very nice tournament through. I've watched him play probably 4 games. Good ball player.
The boys from San Dimas now going to have to battle back to get themselves. They're still not out of the ball game. I was about to say to get themselves back in the ball game. That's not a fair assessment. Here with 1 man gone in the 4th inning, still got 9 outs to, or 8 outs to work with, I should say, but only down by 4.
Chris, they're a gritty, gutty team. They lost the first game of the tournament and fought back for 3 in a row just to make it to playoffs.
Down in the dirt, hops up, gets a piece of the home plate umpire, and we're at 3-2.
It's really been a tremendous week watching these teams from Florida, from Texas, from Georgia, from Wisconsin, from California, all over the place, and the Indiana. The Midwest has really shown well in this tournament. They can really play. You know, they're up with anybody.
Howard kicks and fires a fastball that's shot out to the second baseman. Light there for the out.
Light has some really nice actions. It's a nice middle they've got.
Yeah, indeed. It really, really is.
You know, Halpin behind the dish. They're very strong up the middle, as great teams are.
Now the last place man, Elijah Zepeda. Zepeda, an RBI infield single his first time up, and now he'll reach for a second time.
As a good player does with 2 outs, he kind of didn't move right there. He kind of wore that one, took it for the team. Don't be surprised if he's off to the races.
Now Marcelo Mayer. Marcelo.
Is that a good baseball name right there? Marcelo Mayer.
Yeah, indeed. Hasn't reached today. Fly out to left. Hit into a double play, a second at bat to put a capper on the second inning. An inning that was very productive for Southern California, by the way. David telegraphs his breaking ball. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, he slows that arm up.
Yep.
He's tired. You know, I've seen him throw that breaking ball with a little bit more authority, with good arm speed, and that's the key to any off-speed pitch. Throw it with good fastball arm speed coming out of the hand. He's tired. They're all tired.
Yeah.
You know, Chris, I think this is really a 5-day week of attrition, and the team that's mentally the strongest, physically the strongest, has some depth, is really going to have an advantage.
Ground ball right over Howard, fielded it short. Ortiz fires to first and guns down the speedy Mayer to end the inning. Well, not quite 1, 2, 3, but nearly. Just 4 batters in the home half of that 4th inning, and that's exactly what the Northern California squad wanted. With a 4-run lead to the 5th we go on TravelBallSelect.com. Want to remind you fans right here on TravelBallSelect.com, you can see the latest news, national rankings, and players to watch in Travel Ball nationwide. And go to nationsbaseball.com, by the way, to enter a Travel Ball event in your area. The first of 4 games inside the 11U classification here at the historic East Cobb Baseball Complex in Marietta, Georgia, here in the metro Atlanta area. We're no more than about a half hour from downtown Atlanta. in the sprawling metropolis that is the metro Atlanta area.
Historic downtown Atlanta. And we're really at historic East Cobb baseball. Some of the finest players in the country have come through here and have played through here in the last 15 years.
Yes, indeed. So many major leaguers.
Unbelievable.
Visit their website sometime. Check out the East Cobb website, and they've got a listing of some of the high-profile players that have come through here, some that have made it to the majors, some that have not. Big-time college players as well. You and I, as a matter of fact, were having a conversation about it yesterday. Some of the big-time names that you and I both know that have come through here.
You've announced them, and I've coached against them.
Yeah.
You had more luck than I did.
Right.
Although
I was undefeated.
We held our own a little bit. We've had about 35 big leaguers from our program, so not too bad.
Yeah.
19 first-round picks, so we're holding our own a little bit too. It's the top program in the country, though. There's no question. East Cobb is number one in the country for a good reason. Coach Baldwin's been the architect there throughout and really assembled a great staff. People want to come here and play.
Yeah.
And very deservedly so.
Andrew Baldwin on the mound, by the way, now for Southern California, and he's got Newman to swing and miss, and a strikeout, first batter of the inning. Rodriguez, 5'2", 150, the right-hander, whom started this ball game, I believe. Where did Rodriguez start? Yeah, behind the plate.
Right. Yeah, he catches and does a nice job. So long day for me here as well. We're doing a project for Travel Ball Select. That's why I jumped in a little bit late, doing some filming, some interviewing, and hosting and things. And they'll be able to take a look at that down the line on the internet there too with Travel Ball Select. So some exciting things happening for now and the future. Here's the big fella, Howard.
David, who came in a pinch hit appearance, taking over the 9th place spot for D. Orta. D.O. for 1 with a ground out. David walked, part of 3 consecutive walks that started that 7-run outburst in the 4th. Could be a defining moment in this national championship.
Coach Sarver mentioned earlier, it's the team that can throw the most strikes and play the best catch and eliminate the mistakes. It's the team that's going to get it done.
Right.
And he's been fortuitous so far.
Coach Sarver's squad with a couple of errors in this ball game, and I don't mean this to sound. This is just me doing the analysis. They could maybe have 5.
Oh sure.
Yeah, there have been a few balls that have nicked off gloves and skirted underneath gloves that I'd say 90% of the time this team makes. Howard goes down via the strikeout.
Very sharp earlier in the week. It comes to attrition.
Yeah.
Halpin up here. This is a good ball player here. He's got an older brother that can play. He pitches, he catches. He does a lot of everything, and he does it all pretty well. And he hits left-handed, so he's gifted.
I was going to ask, too, is there an all-championship team that's announced at the end?
I don't. I know that they'll put together some All-American type teams, that type of thing, and based on what they do at this big event, that'll be a big focus. And that was a heck of a catch. They call that a catch.
Great play in center field. The catch made by Corona, and the inning comes to a close. One of the few times that Halpin has been retired this week, as a matter of fact. And 1-2-3, one of the few times that's happened to the boys from Northern California. On to the bottom half of the 5th we go in a 9-5 score.
Great hitters aren't born. They're made. Swing Away makes them.
Hi, I'm Bryce Harper. If you want to be a better hitter, all you have to do is swing away.
Now, all baseball players and softball players can train like the pros. Hit anywhere, anytime, inside or out. Players of all ages and skill levels can get serious and immediate results with the Swing Away.
Swing Away will make you a better hitter, period.
You're just a swing away from becoming a great hitter at swingaway.com.
This is Nations Baseball.
Matty Ice to the plate, driven, high, deep, gone. Gets over the fence by about a foot.
Nations Baseball features the most complete roster and team classification systems in the country, allowing for true class play, matching teams of equal skill levels better than any other organization on the planet. Teams compete in Metro, Select, Elite, and Premier classes in leagues and tournaments around the nation for a chance to attend World Series and National Championship events in the most attractive locations in the country.
That's it. 3 in a row to first base, and that will end it.
Years before he was Sports Illustrated's chosen one, TravelBallSelect.com had already chosen 11-year-old Bryce Harper as an All-American. Go to the source for travel baseball national rankings and All-America teams, TravelBallSelect.com.
We're back for the bottom half of the fifth inning here in Metro Atlanta. Two of the greatest teams in travel baseball at the 11U classification. Two of the best teams in the country, ranked 3 and 4 as a matter of fact coming into this tournament, come all the way from Northern and Southern California, all the way out to the East Cobb Baseball Complex in Metro Atlanta, and meet in an elimination ball game.
Well, if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best.
Right.
So these teams come out and they measure themselves up. Hey, how are we for the rest of the country? Do we do well against Texas, Florida, Georgia? And this is how you find out what you're about.
One of these teams going to be eliminated here in the next, half hour. Howard's first pitch.
A little bit up.
Fastball high to Nandkill. Nate, ground out in the first. Solid single to lead off the third.
Nate's another very good ball player. He's going to take.
Indeed.
They're going to take some strikes here. I think they're going to make the big fella throw a lot of pitches. He's already thrown a lot of pitches throughout the week. They all have. There's only so many pitchers you've got on a roster. They're looking to start a big inning here.
And they need it. For those of you tuning in, maybe the uninitiated out there, we're at 9-5. Visiting team from Northern California out in front, bottom half of this fifth inning. Southern California team at the plate down by 4. And most importantly, the reason I bring it up, for those of you not aware, it's just a 6-inning ball game. So Northern California 6 outs away from eliminating Southern California in this elimination bracket ball game. Winner advances to a 10 a.m. game on the East Cobb Field number 6, just across the way from us, and they'll take on either Team Texas or the Madison Marlins. Where's Madison out of?
At Madison, Wisconsin.
Is it a Madison, Wisconsin team?
No, actually.
I thought it was a Southern team.
No, you know what? Let me find out.
Yeah, well, I'll have to
Madison
find out.
Wisconsin, but Team Wisconsin actually lost yesterday.
That's right.
I apologize.
Yeah. I think the Marlins are Louisiana or Alabama. I
you're
forget.
Right. We'll check on that.
Yeah.
They're a good
way,
club.
That I know for sure.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
Left center field. Falling base hit.
And I like their uniforms.
Right.
Look at the backdoor play right there by the shortstop. Just almost got that guy at first. Very aggressive. That's a good start for the inning. The Lidle guys, they have a habit of winning. They know how to win. They know how to come back. Coach Sarver's got great perspective. He gets it.
Loser of this ball game, done for the week, done for the season. Winner moves on to take on, as I mentioned, those two teams, either Texas or the Madison Marlins. Fastball inside corner for a strike.
Coach Diaz has really done a fantastic job with this Lamorinda group as well. I'm not sure if you told the story yesterday, but he's not wearing a hat on purpose. He forgot his hat in the hotel. They won a big ball game. Oh, that got him. Hit by pitch.
That's exactly the type start to the fifth inning that Southern California wanted, right?
Yep. Now the big fella coming up now hit a huge grand slam when they played Team Halo to really knock them. And this kicking with one swing right here can make it a one-run game. So anyway, Coach Diaz wore his hat the next day. They lost, and the kids and the parents said, "You can't wear your hat anymore." So he's hatless. Good thing is he's got a good set of hair on him, so he's not going to burn, unlike the announcers,
right?
Who would burn profusely.
Already have.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
First thing I did when I got out here today, rub the
lather it up.
Yeah,
lather it up. Yeah, lather up the dome.
So 4 teams remaining in the losers bracket. Winner of this one faces the winner of that other ball game, as we mentioned, and advances. to the 12 p.m. game that'll take place here on TravelBallSelect.com. And they'll take on the loser of the winner's bracket championship game, the Dallas Tigers or the Spartans Pro. That's Texas versus Florida. 3 more games to follow here in the 11U classification on TravelBallSelect.com. And Kim steps in.
And they play a little baseball in Texas. They play a little baseball in Florida. Those are between Texas, Florida, and California. They send more guys to the big leagues than anywhere. Georgia's really closing in. It's per capita, they do as well as anybody in the country.
Kim with a ground out and his only at bat back in the first. And he takes a fastball right at the letters and tight for strike number 1.
You know, that's the kind of ball that I think he could deposit out of the park, and I'm thinking, maybe let him go. Maybe let the big fella eat. He's gonna see some off-speed stuff, probably a steady diet at this point. You know, Howard, I've seen him up in the 70-mile-an-hour range, and he's way below that right now. Yeah, I've seen him the 68 to 70, and he's gonna go some off-speed stuff and try and mix it up.
Good speed at first with Corona. Great speed at second with Nandkill. Curveball hit off the end of the bat. Right side. Light.
Nice
Guns him down
Light.
at first.
At this point, they're going to trade base runners moving up or even a run for an out at this point.
Right.
They're down to 5 outs and they move on.
Light kind of lost his balance there. His feet skidding out from underneath him. He was able to keep his composure, his body controlled.
Coach Diaz is going to make a change here, Chris. Coach Diaz is, I think Mr. Howard ran out of gas and did a great job today for them. Really shut things down, but he's going to a relief pitcher right now.
Third pitcher of the morning for Northern California. And Sam Heyman climbs the mound for the Knights of Lamorinda.
Sam's a lanky, long-limbed guy. So he's got a nice loose arm. Kind of built like a pitcher, long levers. Looks like he's going to be pretty tall.
Sam 5 feet, 100 pounds even.
This is the kind of guy who's 5 feet now. You look 2 years later and he's 6.
Right.
It's amazing, just amazing how these kids grow.
His favorite players, Andrew McCutcheon. That's very interesting.
That's very interesting. Love Andrew McCutcheon. Now he's a Texas product, I believe, growing up.
That is a very interesting choice for his favorite player.
Yeah.
Sam, a guy who will play everywhere. I knew that coming in. The roster only verifies it. They've got him listed as a pitcher and then just an infielder and outfielder. So you know the kid plays absolutely everywhere. He'll face Mike DeHaro and Andrew Rodriguez, barring some sort of double play.
Good story about how these guys do play everywhere. Young player, kid named Joe Ross, 12 years old. We just started our younger program, and I'm used to high school kids, 16, 17 years old.
Right.
So I say, hey, now who are the pitcher-onlys here? Joe says, Coach, we're 12. None of us are pitcher-onlys. We do everything. Now Joe's a pitcher-only now for the San Diego Padre organization, first-round pick, throwing 96, 97.
Is that right? Wow.
But that was a great story. These kids, they play everywhere. Usually the pitchers are the best athletes.
That's right. That is exactly right. And a lot of times those guys are sat right smack dab in the middle of the most clutch situation. Of course, for native Atlantans that may be watching out there, as we're here in the Metro Atlanta area, you harken back to the Jeff Francoeur story. Breaking ball that misses just off the outside corner, and DeHaro ahead in the count, 2-0. Francoeur, in one calendar year, his junior year, caught the game-winning touchdown in the state championship.
Parkview High School.
Parkview, right. Intercepted, came up with the interception that clinched that title game. And then in the spring, hit 3 home runs and acquired the save in the championship series that won it for him. What an amazing run that was.
Jeff Francoeur, I got to meet down in
2-1
Oklahoma. I've coached against him. Got to meet he and his family down at Brahms Ice Cream, McAlester, Oklahoma. the finest high school baseball player I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, I covered a lot of him here in this state. And he may have been for me too.
He could throw 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And could run like the wind at 6'4". Could have been an NFL safety.
Sure,
no question in my mind. He beat us in a game that had also Brian McCann, a guy named Matt Capps,
right,
and a host of others on an infield hit to win in the finals in a 10-inning game, 2-1. So he uses legs to beat us, where the guy can hit the ball 400 feet as well.
Right.
Very special, truly a five-tool athlete.
Two.
Laid off.
Indeed. Good eye. Good eye shown by DeHaro, looking to reach for the second time of the ball game. He was intentionally passed, interestingly enough, in the third inning.
He's got some pop. Now, he's a better man than I would have swung at that.
2-2. Heyman's fastball that was on DeHaro's hands was fouled away.
DeHaro's got some quick hands.
Well, this could be your season here, Rob.
This
you know what I mean? I mean, this could be your season.
It's right there.
2 guys on, 5 outs left in this ball game.
Fouls
Again, foul. Great battle, huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's a team game, but in reality it's about 240 times of one guy going against another in a game. Who's going to win the majority of battles is who's going to win this game.
Heyman looks in, gets a sign that he likes, and comes out of the windup. A breaking ball that's scorched down the left field line, but foul. Curve, breaking ball, one way or another, something off speed.
Games are a little bit behind today, and this has been a long one, and I'm looking over, the Tigers are getting ready, and there's a young man named Dana that's 11 years old that's about 5'10", about 170 pounds, and on the driver's license it says he's 11.
Ground ball up the middle, headed into center field for a base hit. 1 run is in. They're going to hold the second runner after a good throw, and that was a wise decision.
That was a wise decision.
Now 9-6 on the RBI single by DeHaro.
That's a big deal. They've got a first-third situation, and with the defense and the arm behind with Halpin, this is not just a normal double steal, hey, they're going to let him go deal. DeHaro runs just okay. No question in my mind, if he goes, they're going to trade an out for a run.
That'll get us to Rodriguez. Andrew, who started behind the plate, now is the new moundsman. Right-hander climbs into the box. He reached on an error by the shortstop as the second batter of the second inning. And then on a safety squeeze was part of that very productive third inning, where they amassed 4 of their 6 runs. This has been a game of runs, no question about it.
First team to 15 wins.
Right.
A lot of buzz around the park, a lot of people watching this game, a lot of people getting ready for the next one. The energy is absolutely outstanding. Just yell when you need me.
Very, very good speed at third. Pretty fair speed at first.
Okay.
Strike on the outside corner. 0-2 count. 1 man gone. Bottom half of the 5th inning. 9-6. Northern California now leads Southern California. At one time it was 5-2 Southern Cal. They're trying to put together another run. Both teams swap the lead back and forth early. Ground ball, headed up the middle. Can't stop it, into center field. Another run comes across. It's now 9-7. RBI singles consecutively. That's 3 hits in the inning. We started with a single by Nankill and HBP on Corona. Kim with a ground out to second, then an RBI single by DeHaro and Rodriguez has got us to 9-7. And now Alec Beck.
Don't be surprised if Alec lays down a bunt for a hit.
Right now, even at the bag, defensively at third.
Pitcher falling off towards the first baseline.
Right.
You could even, wouldn't be surprised even if we saw something like a fake bunt steal type thing, although there's not a lot of speed on the bases right now. They're more the big boppers.
Right.
Got to have those guys too. Good pitch.
Strike.
Good pitch. That's a best pitch in baseball for a pitcher, 0-1.
He started the little guy with a fastball. Beck a single in the second. Fly out to end the third. Popped up. Again center field. Coming on, battling the sun and making the catch. Corona for the out. That's Newman in center, pardon me, Newman. So 2 out now with Torres coming to the plate.
Definitely not a stealing situation. And you're going to need, even with a bunt in this situation, you're going to need another hit. So I'm sure he's swinging away. I've never understood the 2-out bunt with a man on second because you've got to get another hit and the guy's already in scoring position. I'd rather have 1 shot at it than 2.
Jake Sarver into pinch hit for Torres. First at bat for Sarver. Torres is done after an RBI single. And a ground out. Pop up at third. And the shortstop and third baseman come together. It squeezes out of the glove of the third baseman to load the bases. White had it kick off the heel of his glove.
A little lack of communication. They're both calling for it, and it's a tough one. It's third baseman's going a little bit to the left. You always say that the shortstop has priority over anything, and I believe that the shortstop in the infield and the center fielder in the outfield.
Boy, oh boy! So Jake Sarver reaches on the E5, and the bases are loaded for Daniel Rodriguez with 2 men out in the bottom of the 5th, and the drama builds.
You could see that coming because there was a lack of communication, and one guy did not back off. There's a big lead at first base. If they wanted, they could run a little backdoor play at first base, and I think the first base coach is telling them that. He wandered off way too far. He was off about 25, 30 feet. Now he's a lot shorter. He shortened it up. Would not have surprised me, though, if they ran something there.
Sam Heyman versus Daniel Rodriguez. Right-hander kicks and fires. Pop foul back, right side, headed for the fence.
Oh!
Out of play.
Great effort by the first baseman. Ran into that fence pretty hard. That's the old play. You got room, boom. Easy for somebody else to say you've got room, right?
That's Keegren. Pat Keegren over at first.
Keegren's a tough kid. He's a tough kid.
Yeah, he's been one of the more impressive players.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me if he played a little football. Of course, it's not quite like the South where there's only 2 sports. There's football and spring football.
1-1.
A little bit up.
Curveball to stayed high. Make it 2-1.
Big pitch right here. Missed on the breaking ball. I'm sure this guy is sitting fastball at this point. Pretty good free swinging kid here, too.
Only one at-bat for Daniel in the ball game so far, and he lined out to the second baseman.
Right to Mr. Light.
2-1. Fastball, the tail's outside. Nowhere to put Rodriguez.
He's going to have to put it in a little box in order to swing here. If not, it wouldn't surprise me if he's telling him, hey, not close, don't swing here. That's an RBI situation here. That's a lot of pressure for an 11-year-old kid to throw a strike right here.
Heyman looks in, gets a sign from Halpin that he likes, kicks and fires. A fastball on the inside corner for a strike.
He was taking the whole way there, Chris.
Yes, he was.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners are going to be in motion here, especially with a windup here. And most guys are more comfortable in the windup. Now, this puts a little bit of pressure on the hitter now, too. Invariably, if it's close, he's swinging.
Right.
You don't want to go down taken. You can't get off the island by walking.
Runners do break. 3-2 hit on the ground down to short.
That's a big play.
Yep. Diaz to first, and the inning is over.
That's a big play right there.
But 2 runs come across in the bottom half of the 5th inning for Southern California, cutting into the lead. Now, Northern California, yes, is just 3 outs away from advancing in the national championship. But the deficit will be a little more manageable in the bottom half of the 6th. 9-7 on TravelBallSelect.com.
Here's a game I invite you to play during the next half inning. Rate each player from 0 to 10 how confident he looks. How confident you think each guy is. Rate him 0 to 10, and then notice what you're basing your assessment on. If you want extra credit, do the same for yourself. How are you sitting right now? How are you moving? How are you breathing? How confident 0 to 10 are you right now in whatever it is that you might be working on in your life? I'm Dr. Tom Hansen, founder of the Play Big Academy, and for the last 30 years, I've been studying confidence in baseball and business, all aspects of life, and what makes people take action boldly and confidently, and what has people wilt away under the pressure. If you want to take the first step, where I give away my #1 secret, the Hall of Famer's secret, this is what I learned studying Hank Aaron, Rod Cruz, Stan Musial, Carly Yastrzemski, interviewing them. This is the #1 secret. Go to TravelBallSecrets.com and do the exercise that's there and feel yourself take that boost to the next level. It's your first step. Go to TravelBallSecrets.com.
Top half of the final frame. Well, scheduled frame, that is. I just put the jinx on us. Maybe we'll have extra innings. I know Amy will be happy about that. The first of 4 games remaining in the 11U classification. This an elimination ball game between Northern California and Southern California. 2 teams from out west that know each other very, very well. The Northern California team out of the San Francisco Bay Area, the Southern team out of San Dimas in Southern California.
Now, it's an interesting matchup. It goes way back as far as Northern California has, I'll be honest, a little chip on their shoulder from way back when, because Southern California is kind of the hotbed in the country for years and years and years for baseball. So, you know, our program, we go down to Southern California a lot to find out kind of how we measure up as well. So if you beat a great Southern California team and you're from Northern, that's a special thing. So I get it. And this Cory Lidle team, extremely well coached. Coach Diaz for Northern California does a heck of a job with these guys. So this has been a very even matchup. It's been outstanding to watch.
Andrew Rodriguez back out on the mound for the men from Southern California. And he recorded the only 1-2-3 inning of the ball game so far.
Chris, I love Diaz's setup here. He's a confident kid. He's ready to go. Nice balance. Ooh, pretty good pitch right there. Must have been a little bit inside.
Andrew had a couple of strikeouts in the 5th inning. Now he's charged with the task of trying to hold that Northern California lead at 9-7 in this final frame. It'll be Diaz, Ortiz, and Keegren.
Nice shot.
Into center. Corona moving back, started in on the ball, and that cost him. Diaz around first, headed into second, got at least a stand-up double, and that's where they'll hold him.
That's where you got to make sure that you don't take that first step in. You've got to be able to read that ball, kind of turn to the side. A good rule of thumb is look at the bill of your cap. If it's below the bill of the cap, maybe take a half step in, but if it's a little bit above, you've got to drop, step, and take a back step out. Now let's see what happens here. Ortiz is a good hitter, so I don't think he's bunting in this situation, but he's certainly looking for something middle away to hit to the right side to move that runner along here.
Well, we talked about it yesterday. 3 runs.
Big
oddly, right. Oddly, a very big difference between a 2-run lead.
Good breaking ball to get over.
A.J. hitting to a fielder's choice in the first. Walked in the third. And an F8 in the fourth. Florida versus Texas coming up in the Winners Bracket Championship game. To follow us on TravelBallSelect.com, and they've got the pickoff. That is an absolutely huge play as Diaz is picked off of second.
Well-conceived play. The pitcher did an absolutely outstanding job in selling that he was coming home. He came straight down, made that little inside turn, great timing with the shortstop. That's as good a conceived play as you're going to see at any level. Absolutely outstanding. That hurts. That hurts.
That's a kind of play that can, defensively, that can give your team some juice going into the bottom half of the final frame.
That's making your own breaks there. Those guys work on that. These guys, you're in Southern California, you could play 12 months a year. They don't quite do that. I know Coach Sarver took a couple months off this year and said, hey, boys, go play some soccer, go play some football, whatever. You know, get a break. But these guys, they work hard. They work 4 times a week. They get after it.
Rodriguez, the right-hander, kicks and fires.
Good breaking ball.
Did he offer?
Good breaking ball.
They'll say he did, and it's strike number 3.
That was a half a strike and a half a swing, added up to a whole strike there.
So 2 men out now for the Northern California first baseman, Pat Keegren.
Who's not afraid to go through fences.
Pat, an RBI single in the first. A double play hit in 2 in the third, and he was hit by a pitch in the fourth.
Big sweeping breaking ball for a strike. And he's really been able to locate that breaking ball early in the count, which is it's a big deal. You know, you always tell kids, hey, look for fastball early. Now he's getting that breaking ball over. Now they're going 0-1, and who knows what's coming now.
Another one. That's what's coming. Wow, beautiful pitch. That one better than the first even.
Yeah, a little sharper break.
Yeah.
So if you're throwing 2, you might as well throw 3.
Off the plate this time.
Yeah, going to miss about 6 out. Now he's going to come in for a fastball.
Ground ball down to first.
It's a big inning right there.
Indeed. 1-2-3 goes Northern California in the top half of the final frame. Cory Lidle, the team from Southern California, needs 3 runs to advance. And, of course, Northern California needs 3 outs to advance. We'll find out how it unfolds on TravelBallSelect.com.
Great hitters aren't born. They're made. Swing Away makes them.
Hi, I'm Bryce Harper. If you want to be a better hitter, all you have to do is swing away.
Now, all baseball players and softball players can train like the pros. Hit anywhere, anytime, inside or out. Players of all ages and skill levels can get serious and immediate results with the Swing Away.
Swing Away will make you a better hitter, period.
You're just a swing away from becoming a great hitter at swingaway.com.
This is Nations Baseball.
Matty Ice to the plate, driven, high, deep, gone. Gets over the fence by about a foot.
Nations Baseball features the most complete roster and team classification systems in the country, allowing for true class play, matching teams of equal skill levels better than any other organization on the planet. Teams compete in Metro, Select, Elite, and Premier classes in leagues and tournaments around the nation for a chance to attend World Series and National Championship events in the most attractive locations in the country.
That's it. 3 in a row to first base, and that will ended.
Back for the bottom half of the final frame here in Metro Atlanta. Alongside Rob Bruno, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Thanks for joining us on TravelBallSelect.com. This could be the final at-bat for the Cory Lidle squad from Southern California.
Taking a strike all the way there.
Elijah Zepeda, infield RBI single in the second, and he was hit by a pitch in the fourth. And the little guy waits the 0-1 from Sam Heyman. Couldn't check his swing. 0-2.
Pretty good pitch anyway. You know, I like the fact that they're challenging inside with fastballs. Not enough pitching inside for me. Yeah. You know, you've got the skinny part of the bat inside, the fat part outside. I want to hit the skinny part.
Fastball that stays high. Sam starts with 3 straight fastballs.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. Lost art.
Right. Yeah, you're telling me. Preaching to the choir on that one.
We try and throw about 70% fastballs.
70.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Well, everything works off.
Ooh.
I don't care if you throw 50 or 100. Everything should work off your fastball.
Right.
The only way to get a good fastball is to throw it.
2-2.
He's got to come in now. He doesn't want to go 3-2. You get the leadoff runner on, lots of things happen, get him in the stretch. And that's up.
Pop foul back and into the screen. The final word has come in, by the way. Team Texas was knocked out by Team Sidious of Texas, was knocked out by the Madison Marlins of Mississippi. So Mississippi will face California in the loser's bracket championship game. Well, this version of the loser's bracket ball game coming up next. Off-speed pitch, catches Zepeda looking. One man gone.
Very effective breaking ball there.
Again, coming up next here on TravelBallSelect.com in the 11U classification, Team Florida versus Team Texas. And then at 12, it'll be that ball game that we were talking about a moment ago. The loser of that ball game will take on the winner of, well, either this ball game or Team Mississippi. And then after that,
they're playing for the rings.
Championship. That's right.
They're playing for the rings, and that's why they're here. East Coast all the way to the West Coast, coming in. Oh, missed out.
Fastball off the outside corner to Marcelo Mayer. Marcelo, a fly out, hit into a double play and a ground out. Twice he's tested the shortstop.
Halpin set up inside, but pitcher missed, and that's okay. They're going to miss.
Fastball this time outside corner. Halpin put his glove in the spot, and Sam hit it. Teams traded the lead early, back and forth, and then a 4-run. Was a 4-run second inning, third inning,
right,
where Southern California seized the lead at 5-2. But then, incredibly, in the fourth, a 7-run fourth inning, top of the fourth for Northern California. Built their lead to 9-5, and now they are holding on at 9-7. 3-1.
You know, it's interesting. Halpin gave him a high target, and then he says, hey, bring that ball down. You know, 2-1, you don't want to get too fine here. It really attack that zone, especially if you've got that 2-run lead. Hard enough for a big leaguer to hit his spots.
Big pitch. 3-1.
Right on the corner.
On the corner for strike number 2.
And if I'm hitting in that situation, I think that's a good take. You really couldn't do much with it, but it's right on the knees. It's right on the outside corner. It's a great pitch. But again, nothing you can do with that. Ball 4.
Yep. And so now the tying run will come to the plate. A 1-out walk to Mayer. Nate Nankill to the plate. He of consecutive hits in his last 2 at-bats. A ground out and 2 singles.
You know, at this point, Chris, they're just looking to get to the next guy and then get to the next guy. This is the heart of their order. We're at the 2 spot now or leadoff?
No, you're right, at the 2 spot, yeah.
So at 2, 3, 4, 5, they can flat swing it. So this is a dangerous deal.
Corona on deck and Kim behind him.
And Kim's got a lot of pop.
Shows bunt, takes ball.
He had won about 270 feet opposite field the other day. Against a guy throwing the upper 60s. The ball was away and really drove it.
Yeah, that's the moment when you see that big guy come to the plate, if you see him this inning, where you actually really things start to get hairy for you.
Right. He's had a bunch of great at-bats, too, battling. That's a good pitch.
Out of the stretch, inside corner, count even at 1.
You know, at this point, I think Lamorinda probably knows these guys are taking a strike. I'm going to go 0-0 fastball right down the middle. Now, you have to execute it, but let's get 0-1. You know, if you're on that team, let's get 0-1.
NorCal, a ground ball potentially away from a double play and advancing. Off-speed pitch for a strike.
Right down the chute. He's got a very sharp off-speed pitch. It's a good breaking ball. Sharp and late.
Fouled back.
That got it. That ticked the umpire there. Halpin's gonna go talk a little bit. Halpin's got some savvy for an 11-year-old, trying to help the umpire out. Does a nice job behind the dish. He's controlled this game really well from the innings that I've seen.
He may be the most impressive player I've seen all week. Short list.
Yep. Oh,
to left and deep, way back there, and off the wall. Rounding second, headed into third, tying runs in scoring position. Nankill missed by, I don't know, about 3 feet, maybe 2, of getting it out of here.
That was a big shot. Coming off the bat, I didn't know if that thing was going to leave the park.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
It got caught up in the thick Georgia air of a Sunday morning here in June. That thing had to cut through 85% humidity. No wonder it hung up out there and left. Mississippi, Texas, and Florida already into the Final Four. We know they'll be joined by the state of California. The question is, will it be north or south? The boys from Northern California sitting on a 2-run lead in the bottom half of the final frame. Southern Cal with the tying runs on base and in scoring position. And they've got Emilio Corona, their center fielder, coming to the plate. Emilio, an infield single in the first, a fly out in the third, and he was hit by a pitch just last inning. Now how big is how the 5th inning transpired?
Absolutely.
After 2 runs came across for the Southern California squad. Of course, we've got some changes going on now. Gage Johnson has moved over into right field and come onto the field of play. This is the first time we've seen Gage in the ball game.
The right fielder moved to left field.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I missed that. Okay.
The left fielder came out. The right fielder moved to left field.
Thank you. So Zach White.
And the left fielder came out. I think it was maybe possibly an extra hitter. I'm not sure if it was a straight substitution, possibly an extra hitter deal. Ortiz came out.
And that'll get us to Corona. So A.J. Ortiz came out. Gage Johnson goes into right, but Heyman's still on the mound. Sam looks in, nods yes to Halpin, kicks and fires. Off the outside corner. 1-0.
Some drama is definitely building here, Chris. This is the 3-hitter here, and we have Kim on deck. Is that correct?
Correct.
So I think Coach is not setting up a force because he knows he doesn't want to really go to Kim in a bases-loaded situation. So they're going to take their chances. They're going to pick their poisons. And both these kids can really hit.
In the dirt, Halpin needs a big stop on anything in the grains. It's Mayer at third and Nankill at second. Heyman looks in, gets a sign that he likes, and goes into the windup. 3-0. Holy smokes.
they're going to put him on.
Yep.
Intentionally.
Well, you set up the force at every base now.
You do. I'll tell you this. I'm throwing off speed all day to Kim, and I know this is a little controversial, but Chris, if he gets ahead in the count, I'm going to walk him intentionally and walk one guy in because this is the kind of guy that can end this game. I know that's crazy, but I'm going to try and have him go after something bad with breaking balls, but if he gets into a fastball situation, I might literally walk him here.
Winning run now on base down at first. Heyman kicks and fires. Ball 1 to Ryan Kim. Ryan, a ground out. An RBI hit. And he also grounded out to the second baseman back in the 5th. He stands at the plate with one man out in the bottom of the final frame and is down, his team down by 2. Sam steps off the mound. Or off the rubber, rather.
We want to make sure they've got their signs in order here with a man on second. They're going to switch it up a little bit.
The 1-0 misses just low.
Missed.
2-0. Well, here's your situation.
My situation here is I'm throwing nothing but breaking balls. I'm not going to give in to this kid because he can beat you on one swing. Not that the next guy can't,
right?
But I'm taking my odds with the next guy.
2-0. Inside corner. 2-1. Kim, not tremendous speed at the plate.
He doesn't have to the way he hits it.
Well, right, but he also hits it so hard that if he smokes one down to shortstop, this game's over.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Off the corner and possibly low. It's 3-1. Well,
I'd throw another breaking ball.
The entire park will be holding their breath on this one.
Absolutely. Would not give in. I'd throw another breaking ball.
Send him at first. 3-1. Inside corner. Count now, run full. How about now?
This is it. I'd definitely throw a breaking ball now.
You send him at first, though?
There's no question I'm throwing a breaking ball here.
What about runner at first? You send him?
No, because
try to stay out of the double play?
No, you can't. You can't because he strikes out. You're gonna get back picked. You're done. And I throw another breaking ball. You can't send him at first because you got guys at second, guys at third. All you're doing is playing. If you go strike 3.
I don't mean to send him straight. Send him. I mean a deep hop,
well,
deep
he better
crow.
be ready to roll.
Yeah, get over it.
He
right.
better be ready to roll to beat that force. There's no question about that.
You got Keegren playing way back at first.
Yeah, you're going to get another 2 or 3 more steps on your primary and secondary there. Oh,
swing
that's
and a
out.
miss. He struck him out.
That was a huge out. Huge, huge.
And so now it's Mike DeHaro. Mike, a ground out. An intentional walk. Drove in the first run of the 5th inning, drawing his team back to within 9-6. They would add a run on the next at-bat by Rodriguez. So an RBI single, a walk, and a ground out for DeHaro. It's Mayer at third, Nankill at second, Corona at first. Good speed on the base pads. The man that matters the most is Nankill at second. And a ground ball foul. Now Heyman ahead in the at-bat at 0-1. A reminder for those of you maybe just tuning in, the loser of this ball game out of the national championship. The winner advances in the loser's bracket to take on a team out of Mississippi. Sam Heyman to the belt. Gets a sign that he likes. And before he's able to get into the windup, time called by DeHaro. Andrew Rodriguez on deck if we get that far.
Big hole in that 5-6 hole. The third baseman's kind of cheating towards the line.
Yep.
I guess double preventing. Never been a fan of preventing doubles. I'd rather play straight up. You get beat through the 5-6 hole more than right down that line. Maybe get a little bit more depth here. Infield's deep. They're going to leave their feet on anything here. Halpin's going to regroup and give some more signs. Make sure he's not getting picked at second by the base runner.
Heyman's 1-1. Hit on the ground down to short. They need only the force at second. They'll have to throw to first. The throw is high, but they made the play, and the ball game is over.
What a great way to end it. That was a rocket shot to the shortstop. Stayed right in front of that thing. Did an outstanding job.
The Knights from Lamorinda, Northern California, survive, and they do, in fact, advance. On in the losers bracket to the 10 a.m. game coming up here in just a few moments. It'll be Team Mississippi versus Team California. The winner moves on and the loser falls out. But coming up next, right here on TravelBallSelect.com, it'll be Team Florida, the Spartans Pro, versus Team Texas, the Dallas Tigers. That again coming up 15, maybe 20 minutes or so from now. For Rob Bruno, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Thanks for joining us for a 9-7 Lamorinda win. Northern California advances on TravelBallSelect.com.